Late in the evening, a young girl named Abigail is dancing ballet alone on a stage inside an empty theater. At the same time, far away, a group of bad people are planning to kidnap her. One person in the group is a hacker, and he turns off all the security cameras in Abigail's house. Another person is a sniper, and he climbs up to the roof of her house to keep watch. After her dance is over, Abigail leaves the theater and gets into a car with her driver. Neither she nor the driver knows that the bad guys have put a small tracker under the car to follow them. As the car starts moving, the kidnappers start following. The hacker opens the doors of her house from far away, and three of the kidnappers quietly go into her bedroom and hide behind the furniture. One of the kidnappers is a woman, and when she realizes they are going to kidnap a child, she feels uncomfortable and says she doesn't want to do it. But the others tell her to stay quiet and just follow the plan. Soon Abigail reaches home, gets ready for bed, and lies down. That's when the kidnappers quickly grab her. One of them tries to hold her down, but Abigail fights back and stabs his hand with a pencil. Another kidnapper steps in and covers her mouth while holding her tight. The first man tries to punch her, but the woman stops him because she doesn't want to hurt a kid. Then the woman gives Abigail an injection to make her sleep. Outside the house, two more kidnappers are waiting in a car. They warn the others inside that another car is arriving, and the sniper watches it through his scope. The team quickly puts Abigail inside a bag and sneaks out through the window. They cross the garden and meet the sniper. But just then, the house alarms go off, so they start running. Luckily, the getaway car reaches them in time, and they all drive off fast. While they are driving, one of them checks Abigail's pulse to make sure she's alive, then blindfolds her eyes so she can't see anything. As they drive near a busy road, the hacker tells the driver to take another route, but the driver suddenly turns and hides the van behind a large truck. After some time, they reach an old, broken mansion outside the city. This is their hideout. Inside the mansion, they meet Lambert, the man who hired them to do this job. Abigail is tied to a bed with handcuffs. Lambert tells the team they should not tell each other their real names or personal stories, and they should not behave badly with each other. They must stay for 24 hours and watch over the girl until her rich father sends $50 million. Lambert doesn't say who the father is, but he collects everyone's phones so no one can be tracked. Before leaving, Lambert gives everyone a code name based on old movie stars. Later, the team relaxes in the house. They drink alcohol and try to guess each other's past. Joey, the woman who gave Abigail the injection, doesn't share her candy with Dean, a man who tries to act smart by guessing other people's stories, but he's wrong every time. Joey makes fun of him, so the others bet money to see if she can do better. Joey looks at everyone carefully and guesses their past just by how they dress and act. She is correct about all of them. Frank was a police detective. Peter was a dumb enforcer for a gang. Sammy the hacker comes from a rich family and is only doing this for fun. Rickles was a sniper in the army, and Dean is a crazy driver. Frank then guesses that Joey was a drug addict who is now trying to recover. Later, Joey goes to check on Abigail. The girl is crying because her blindfold is too tight. Joey covers her eyes with a blanket instead and moves the handcuffs to the front because they were hurting her wrists. Joey gently tells her that nobody wants to hurt her and they just want her father to pay money. Abigail makes her promise that she won't let anything bad happen, so Joey promises with a pinky swear. Joey tells her that she has a son too. Abigail says that they made a mistake because her father doesn't love her. As Joey is about to leave, Abigail says she's sorry for what is going to happen to her. Joey gets scared and tells Frank that maybe Abigail's father is a dangerous man, but Frank says the girl is just trying to trick her. Frank secretly checks on Abigail himself. He sees her without the blindfold and gets scared. He covers his face and points a gun at her, telling her not to look at him. He asks her who her father is. She finally says that her dad is Christophe Lazar. Frank runs back to the others and says he is leaving right now. The others ask why, and Frank says the girl is the daughter of Christophe Lazar, who is one of the most dangerous crime bosses in the world. Joey and Rickles both know the name and also get worried. The team argues about what to do next. They finally decide to stay and finish the job to get the money, then disappear forever. They agree to lock all the doors and stay alert. Later that night, Joey hears a strange noise. She follows it and finds a window swinging open. She closes it and sees a statue of a father holding his child. Then Rickles appears and flirts with her, but she's not interested. He says he doesn't trust the rest of the team, and they agree to watch each other's backs. Meanwhile, Sammy finds a room with a TV but gets scared when Dean sneaks up behind her. Dean jokes and flirts with Sammy, but she gets mad and kicks him out. Then Dean finds Peter sleeping and draws a private part on his face as a prank. After that, he walks around the house and finds a hallway full of old pictures. One of the photos looks like Abigail. Dean goes to the basement and finds the kitchen. A door opens on its own and Dean walks in. He gets scared by a rat and tries to leave, but something invisible grabs his legs and pulls him inside. Sammy hears him scream and goes to check. She finds Dean sitting at a table, but when she touches him, his head falls off. Sammy screams and throws up. The rest of the team comes running. They know Sammy couldn't have done this. Frank remembers a scary story about a man named Valdez, who worked for Lazar. Years ago, some gang members were captured and locked up in a hotel under FBI watch. The next morning, they were all found dead with missing heads and organs, even though no one could have entered the room. The team gets scared and checks on Abigail, who is still in the room. Rickles tries to run away, but finds another locked gate behind the front door. Peter tries to break it, but fails. This starts a security system that shuts all windows too. Joey says it's a trap. Rickles checks his gun, but it's gone. Joey runs to Abigail and asks if she saw anyone else. Abigail says no, but tells Joey that Frank works for her dad and threatened her. She also says Frank's real name is Valdez. Joey and Rickles talk about this and get confused. Suddenly, Joey hears a sound. She finds Rickles standing strange, then sees he's been badly hurt. He dies in her arms. Joey runs down and points a gun at Frank, saying he is Valdez. Frank pulls his gun too and says Joey is being fooled by Abigail. He tells Peter to take care of Abigail. Peter goes to her room, ready to kill her, but Joey arrives and stops him. Frank and Sammy come too, and they all argue. Suddenly, Abigail removes her cuffs, stands up, and does a ballet move. She shows her true form. She is a vampire. She jumps on Peter and tries to bite him, but Frank shoots her. Abigail heals and sits up again. Joey shoots her too, but it does nothing. They all run away and lock the door. They realize she was Valdez all along. Sammy says they can't hack the doors, and the locks are too strong to break. Everyone is scared. Frank and Joey make wooden stakes, and Sammy looks for garlic. Joey refuses to help because she thinks Abigail's dad will come after them if they hurt her. They search Abigail's room, but she is gone. Music plays in another room, and they find Abigail dancing with Dean's body. She acts sweet, but when Sammy attacks, Abigail bites her and laughs at the garlic. Frank tries to help, but is thrown away. Peter lifts Abigail, but gets thrown too. She grabs Peter's cross and presses it on him, but nothing happens. Then she stabs Frank in the leg. The team runs back downstairs. Joey helps treat their wounds and reminds them that the injection worked before. They plan to find Abigail and use the syringe again. Sammy walks through a dirty hallway and falls in a pool full of dead bodies. She screams and climbs out. Abigail finds Peter and chases him. Peter runs fast, but Frank opens a door and accidentally knocks him off a rail. Abigail pushes Frank down the stairs. Joey tries to use the syringe but misses. Sammy grabs Abigail, who bites her arm. Then Abigail grabs Frank and starts flying. Peter jumps on her and makes her drop Frank. Joey picks up the syringe and stabs Abigail. Abigail curses Joey before falling asleep. Sammy is scared she will turn into vampire. Abigail wakes up later, locked inside an elevator. Joey tells her they will let her go if she tells them how to escape, but Abigail laughs and says everything was her plan. She reveals that Lambert works for her and that she knows everyone's true identity. Sammy stole from her rich parents and then went after a big target. Peter worked for a crime gang but betrayed them. Frank was a cop who joined a gang and enjoyed it. Joey was an army medic who lost her job because of medicine addiction and left her son with a bad father. She became an illegal underground doctor and once killed a gang member by accident. Abigail says all of them had hurt her father's gang, and now she is punishing them to get her father's love. She says she could have killed them earlier, but likes to play with her food. She says if they let her out, she will let 2 people live. Frank says no and wants to kill her. Abigail gets angry and changes her offer to saving only the person who frees her. Peter believes her and tries to open the elevator, but Joey shoots him. Frank and Joey leave the room, but Frank stays to watch Abigail. He tells her he will let her go if she tells him how to get out. Abigail says to pull Agatha Christie's book in the library to open a secret door. Frank says thank you but doesn't free her. Then Abigail breaks the door herself and walks toward him. At that moment, Joey breaks wooden planks on a window. Sunlight comes in and burns Abigail's hand. She screams and hides in the shadows to heal. Joey and Frank run to the library. They stay under the sunlight coming through the high window Joey opened before. Sammy stands there too and sees she isn't changing into a vampire. Frank pulls the book Abigail mentioned, but nothing happens. She had lied. Frank gets angry, and Joey tries to break a wall but fails. Joey is out of candy and gets anxious. She tells Sammy she left her son to fix her life and wanted to use the money from this job to go back to him and start over. When Joey says the word reset, Sammy gets an idea. She says if they can find the power source, she can shut down the locks. They split into two groups and search the mansion. Suddenly, music plays again, and Abigail uses her bite powers to control Sammy. Sammy becomes a vampire and attacks Peter, biting his neck. While feeding, she kills him. Then Abigail makes Sammy dance like she does. Joey and Frank arrive, but Sammy hides her face. They feel something is wrong. Sammy turns around and shows she is now a vampire. Joey and Frank run away. Sammy chases them. They reach the library. Abigail talks using Sammy's voice and says she hates that room because her dad turned her into a vampire there. Joey uses a metal tray to reflect sunlight onto Sammy, and Sammy explodes. At that moment, a secret door opens. Joey and Frank think it may be a trap, but go inside anyway. They walk through a corridor and find a control room. Lambert is there, and he is also a vampire now. He grabs Joey and explains everything. Abigail turned him into a vampire 2 years ago when she found out he helped Frank get close to the gang. She also threatened his family, so now he just brings enemies to her so she can play with them. Lambert says he told Lazar about what's happening, and the father's coming to the mansion. Lambert says he wants to kill both Abigail and her dad. He offers to turn Frank into a vampire if Frank helps him. Frank agrees, so Lambert knocks out Joey and bites Frank. Then he makes Frank drink his blood. Joey wakes up and sees Frank turning into a vampire. Lambert tells Frank to feed on Joey, but Frank surprises him and kills Lambert with a wooden stake. Lambert explodes. Abigail arrives and attacks, but Frank is stronger now. He holds her and drinks her blood. Joey uses this moment to reach the control panel and turn off all security systems. She also gets her phone back. She runs down a secret hallway but finds the exit locked. Frank finishes feeding on Abigail and drops her body. Joey calls her son and leaves a loving voice message, telling him she's sorry and wants to see him again. Suddenly, Frank appears and pushes Joey back into the library. He throws her into furniture. Joey tries to fight back, but her punches don't work on a vampire. Frank grabs her neck and throws her down, but Abigail wakes up and catches Joey just in time. Abigail says she is too weak to beat Frank alone and begs Joey to help. She promises Joey that if they kill Frank, she will let her go see her son. Frank comes closer, and the two girls fight him together, but Frank is too strong and throws them around. He knocks Abigail down and stabs Joey in the shoulder with a wooden stake, pinning her to a pillar. Then he goes to bite Abigail again. She raises her pinky finger to remind Joey of their promise. Frank pulls the stake out and bites Joey. She falls down and looks dead, but Joey wakes up soon. Frank uses his powers to make her hold the stake and try to kill Abigail, but Joey is only pretending. She suddenly turns and pushes Frank away. Abigail jumps on Frank and starts fighting him again. She tells him that vampire powers take time to grow, so he can't control Joey yet. While they fight, Joey grabs the stake and pulls Frank down. Then both Joey and Abigail stab him together. Frank explodes. Afterward, Joey worries that she might turn into a vampire too, but Abigail says she won't because Frank is dead. As she promised, Abigail lets Joey go and tells her to find her son. Joey starts walking away, but then someone touches her shoulder. It's Abigail's father, Lazar. He says he has lived many lives with many names. He wants to kill Joey, but Abigail stands in front of her and says Joey saved her life and cared for her when he didn't. Lazar thinks for a moment, then kisses Joey's hand as a thank you and lets her go. Joey rushes outside, finds the van, and sees one last lollipop in the seat. She smiles, puts it in her mouth, and drives away into the sunrise. Subscribe. Join next time for another story that makes you think and feel. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.